Good evening, people. We are here with Game 2 between TongFu and compLexity for Beyond Summit World Tour, where I'm casting together with GoDZ. Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Sorry, I just had my microphone muted because I like to be courteous during the intro videos and mute my microphone so you don't get the awkward intro view playing while there's random noise coming through the microphones. I'm doing good. How are you, Sheever?
I'm doing good too. By the way, thank you for asking me to cast this match. I didn't think I said that yet.
That's all right. Thank you for stepping in. It was one of those things where it was going to be on Dota TV, but there's always some people who wanna watch the live stream. So and also in English. I think there's a Russian stream as well. Yeah. Casper's streaming on Starlighter, but having an English stream is fantastic.
Yeah, just having the VODs available. I mean, not everybody, of course, buys the Beyond Summit ticket, which you should, by the way. People buy the in-the-game ticket, and it's just nice to have a VOD.
Yeah, I think they'll be casting the replays after the IG versus LGD series anyways, just to make sure there's VODs as well as just so all the stream viewers on the official stream can get it. But as far as live coverage goes, something about watching matches live is just awesome. Like, if someone tells me this match isn't live, suddenly I'm less interested in it for some reason. Even if I don't know the result.
But you can already look it up. It's like... Yeah. Though mostly if you're casting replays, like if you don't cast it the exact same day or maybe the day after, it's already so risky for especially in a tournament version where, you know, like, if one of these teams loses, they're out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you might already know which team will be playing tomorrow because you already checked which games you want to watch tomorrow, and then you know, oh, okay, so that person won. Yeah, well, now I don't have to watch the VODs anymore.
Yeah. I know what and even in StarCraft 2, a lot of the online tournaments, they cast from replays, and basically it's an agreement, or part of the participating in the tournament is that you can't release the results until they've streamed the replay. But I still feel watching them, because you know it's a replay, it's still less exciting. You're like, oh, he played this a day ago, or maybe sometimes it's a week ago. But even if you can't find the result, even if the result isn't released, it's still like, well, it's still a replay. You just know, you have that feeling where it's like, I'm not watching an awesome live event, so it is a bit different here. So, TongFu versus Cole Game 2. I feel compLexity are a team who can turn this around.
Yeah, and I do think that we're going to see that also reflected into their strategy. I mean, they will have some more late-game insurance of maybe picking up the Morphling for themselves, or, you know, go for some more strong late game. I mean, they had the Lone Druid, which is of course a good hero to have impact on the late game, but he needs so much nurturing and stuff, and they just didn't have the time for that. So something that can do both, like a Chaos Knight, for example. He could be a good addition here instead of the Lone Druid. We actually have the Tinker banned out by the team that used it in the previous game. TongFu banned out the Tinker, so they are going to go for something entirely different, I believe.
Yeah, Tinker's seen a lot of play as of late. It's actually surprising that he got 4th pick in game number 1. I think compLexity somewhat, I guess, got caught by surprise there. I don't think they expected TongFu to play Tinker. I think they assumed TongFu were a team who didn't use Tinker at all. Otherwise, it would have been picked up earlier or more likely banned out, because that's a hero which has been getting first banned or often first picked by a lot of teams as of late.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course he had that massive advantage at the start of last game, and it really made him snowball. He was just unstoppable. And Lone Druid banned out as well, so TongFu banning out 3 heroes with a lot of pushing power. Shrek as well, with a Naga Siren and a Lycan ban out from compLexity. I mean, they don't really have a lot of options, of course, being the second pick team, as they're going into their bonus time for this last ban. I mean, they still have the Invoker, the Nature's Prophet. Which other heroes could they possibly be discussing right now? Because of course if they leave both in, with the Chen there as well and all the jungle heroes, they still can pick up everything apart from one, which they're going to give away.
Yeah, and I feel that's something compLexity may want to change in this game number 2, is that to go with that jungle option here. Enchantress is still in the pool, so is the Chen. So this is a game where we may be seeing compLexity's fluff and stuff on that Chen, one of his sort of trademark heroes.
Yeah, let's see if TongFu is not going to pick that one up first, though. I mean, the last ban was going to go for a Nature Prophet and a Darkseer, actually still in the pool, being picked up here. I mean, it's been a while since I've actually seen Darkseer in a game. I mean, you see him left and right a couple times, but normally he is banned out. Yeah.
And this is, in my personal opinion, he's the strongest hero in the current metagame. I think he's he's stronger than Lycan and more ban-worthy than a hero like Lycan. He fits into everything. You've got the Surge to gank and escape. You've got the Iron Shell to help outlane opponents and farm. You've got the Wall plus Vacuum combo for the team fights, for the counter pushing, or for any sort of push situation, whether it's defending one or leading a push. He's such a great hero, and complexity, well, they're going to have to get something nice and juicy with this double pick here, because giving up Darkseer is very, very risky.
Yeah, I'm expecting well, Enigma is kind of a better pick here than a Chen, I would think, purely because you don't want to give that Enigma away for the Darkseer combination with a Black Hole, but they actually go for a Rubik, so they are planning on countering that with picking up the Black Hole themselves, if Enigma is actually getting picked up by TongFu. But like you said, Darkseer, I mean, he is such an enabler for so many other heroes. He makes great combination with a lot of different heroes, and that's why he's such a risky pick. He's always a good pickup, or risky giveaway, I should say.
No, and that's it. And most teams tend to run him in as that solo hero in the side lane, whether it's top or bottom. But he is versatile in the fact you can put him in the jungle. So teams can always throw that little mix-up curveball and just send him in the jungle and then run sort of a 2-1-1 setup.
Yeah, and the thing that TongFu didn't have in the previous game, the team fight, is definitely something that they will have in this game with the Darkseer and the Tidehunter, and again Morphling on top of that one, just securing the late game as well. So complexity, what are they going to do against it? I mean, they can look for extra strong pushing lane up, but TongFu already banned out so many pushing heroes that they don't really have that many options left.
Yeah, they may want to go really aggressive. I mean, the most aggressive option is always going to be that aggressive trial lane which they ran last game and didn't really work out too well for them. So if they want to do something similar this game and go for a trial lane, I feel like they'll put it in the safe lane and look to just get lots of towers very early on, rather than sort of play that really risky option, which is send 3 heroes down towards the enemy safe lane.
Yeah, something maybe like a Broodmother could fit into their lineup. I mean, if they're gonna push, maybe at some point they will get counter pushed, of course, but if you then have a Broodmother as well, it could be a pickup. But on the other hand, you also already have the Tidehunter, you already have the Darkseer, 2 heroes that are fairly good counters versus the Broodmother, so that kind of defeats that purpose, perhaps. Although I do think it could still be valuable, because if you just have the Broodmother there, you at least make sure that Tidehunter is not allowed to leave his lane. Venomancer once again.
I mean, basically complexity decide they don't want to reveal anything with their draft. They picked up, well, anything more. They pick up Venomancer, which is just going to be a support hero here. So TongFu had no idea what complexity want to run in terms of their carry hero as well as their other solo. Rubik's going to be one of their 2 solos, but then they've got Venochen, the 2 supports, who can go into the top jungle and just basically Venomancer supporting some kind of a carry, or they can send them bottom and be sort of look to shut down the Morphling farm. So TongFu right now are still really guessing as to what complexity have planned, and complexity themselves, I mean, they may just sort of still be considering their options here, whereas TongFu have given a lot more away by picking up the Morphling as well as the Darkseer. It's a lot easier to predict what TongFu want to do.
Yeah, and they're probably gonna look to ban out some of the supports on complexity. We already seen Antimate's ban out from TongFu. I think it's a very good choice because, like you said, they don't really know what they can expect, but at least now they're banning out the heroes that could withstand or keep up with the Morphling late game as well. So Antimate and Dragonite being banned out by TongFu, is Enchantress is actually the ban out for complexity. He's still expecting that jungle hero to compete with the Chen. Maybe still an Enigma banned out from them as well, because that would give them a massive team fight if TongFu gets their hands on that one. And of course, it would still fit into their lineup.
Yeah, no, it really would. I mean, they haven't really picked up any of their supports except maybe that Tidehunter. So I think banning it out is definitely the safer option from complexity. They don't have to worry about Chen having any competition in the jungle, and can just worry about how they want to lane this and not what's going to be happening in that jungle. And I think a big thing for complexity is avoid those big 5-on-5 engagements at level 1 again.
Yeah, and that is really needed. Need an Enigma indeed, yeah. Smart choice. Let's see though, they need a support. They need something to go with that Morphling. Crystal Main. I mean, all the supports are kind of still in, or apart from the Venomancer and perhaps the Rubik, so they don't really have to pick it up just yet. I mean, they can just wait till the last pickup, unless they don't want to reveal just yet what they're gonna pick up together with that support. And there is actually the Broodmother. Wow, this is looking better and better for TongFu in their lineup. I mean, right now, complexity has to choose. Which one do you want to shut down? The Broodmother or the Morphling? I don't know.
Yeah, and Dax is another hero that you always have to worry about. And then, I mean, mentioned a bit earlier, this could really be Darkseer in the jungle. I mean, because Brood and Morphling, I mean, likely be Broodmother in the top lane with Morphling farming at the bottom lane, but this could easily be Darkseer in the jungle, and it's something I've only really seen Team DK from trying to do, but it is a viable option here. So really, compLexity now, I mean, you think you have the TongFu draft figured out, but they pick a hero like Brood, and then suddenly compLexity have to really think things through with these last two picks, whether they go for the Sand King to counter the Brood here. They need something that can contest the Brood farm, or sorry, not so much contest it, but can actually stop his push and deal with the Brood.
And Beastmaster is the perfect pickup to do so. With its access killing off the Spiderites and Spiderlings. That is, it is probably one of the better pickups that they could still do. Sand King is still in the pool as well if they wanted to have that one instead, which they actually could still pick up, but then they don't have that competition to go for that Morphling. They need some kind of carry, because right now they are looking at some push, they are looking at some ganks with the Beastmaster, but they just don't have the team fight or the late game potential or the pushing power to get ahead of TongFu.
Yeah, I mean, the bad news for compLexity right now is that TongFu now also have an Invoker. They've got such a scary looking lineup. The good news is that TongFu have a lot of heroes that need farm and XP. They can now predict what TongFu want to do. They're going to be sending it's going to be Darkseer in the jungle and a Tide support. So TongFu are going to have some fairly weak lanes. They'll have a solo Brood, they'll have a solo Invoker. They can predict how the lanes are going to go. compLexity, though, have no late game. Until now, they pick up the Tiny, which is going to be going a carry Tiny move. We're going to be seeing the sort of the Drums, Aghanim, Scepter into the Assault Crest build that compLexity love to do on the Tiny.
Yeah, and I do think it's a very good pickup here, because it is one of those heroes, like, if he gets a good start, he gets a good start, and he'll continue to do good, like, he'll snowball, and that is something they really need. I mean, I do think that if Tiny gets shut down early on, then I'm not giving compLexity a lot of hope.
Yeah, and it's going to be, well, yeah, it's definitely a hero that I think should get a lot of farm. I don't think TongFu are going to be able to shut down Tiny with the heroes they have and the lanes they have. As far as the early game goes, it's going to be compLexity who can push down towers better, can win the lanes a lot better, because, I mean, they've got the Chen who can come and push. TongFu, they're just going to be looking to sit back and farm. I mean, pretty much say true. This is one of the games where they will say true to that stereotype. They've got a lineup which just wants to farm.
It's true. If they're going to be able to do that, well, we'll see. We'll see. We actually have a disconnect from compLexity. TC is restarting his PC or his Dota. We don't know. He's restarting something. But we can already see who's playing what. We are going to see a TC on... wow, what was that last pickup? Tiny, of course.
Tiny.
Tiny, indeed. So TC is going to be playing his Tiny Hannah Montana again on the solo lane, this time on a Beastmaster Ix Mike, upon his Venomancer, Yale upon the Rubik, and Fluff and Stuff, like he said, on the Chen, one of his signature heroes.
And over on the other side, the Radiant side, TongFu, we're going to be seeing a familiar side, which is going to be Hao playing the Morphling. We've got Mu playing the Invoker, Kabu on the Broodmother, Sansheng playing the Tidehunter, and then finally Awoke on the Darkseer. So, I mean, yeah, jungle Darkseer it will be, and Awoke is sort of their jungle specialist. He plays the Chen, the Enchantress normally, and we'll see how compLexity look to deal with that, whether they just send, I think it will just be Beastmaster going bottom lane with the Tiny, Veno, as well as Chen at top, but they could always send those three heroes bottom, especially with the fact Darkseer's going to be in the jungle. They'll definitely do pretty well at bottom lane, but it's whether or not they can get the kills. Last game they ran the offensive trialing, but they didn't get any kills and they fell behind because of it.
Yeah, they're gonna need that one. I do think that as soon as Beastmaster's level 6, we'll see some active ganks coming out from him, but of course, probably around that time, Tidehunter will be level 6 as well, even though as a support here, he might be a bit slower than the Beastmaster, so that is the risk. I mean, if you have a Beastmaster running around trying to get kills, and a Tidehunter running around trying to throw out his Ravage, that's going to be the perfect opportunity for Sunshine to actually get those kills in. But it will depend if Beastmaster gets his levels earlier than the Tidehunter, if he's going to be able to pick off some heroes. And there we have TC reconnecting up on his Tiny. He picks it up.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel this is two very different lineups. They're going to look to sort of achieve very different things. I mean, mentioned TongFu, they just want to sort of, they basically want to play very defensive their lanes, get the farm up. Brood will just be looking to survive if he's up against a dual lane or tri lane at top. If it's just a solo hero at top, then Brood will be looking to push and get some decent farm. But for the most part, it's going to be a more defensive and passive playstyle coming from TongFu. So they've sort of switched roles. Last game it was TongFu being aggressive. This game they're going to be passive. And this game it's going to be compLexity. Well, I don't think compLexity have to be super aggressive, but they need to get ahead early. They need to win the lane stage and then sort of move on, start pushing down towers and get TC very, very farmed.
Yeah, and TC is actually moving top together with his tri-lane. Or at least... Never mind. Never mind, Fluff and stuff is gonna go there too. Actually, yeah, they need actually TC in the middle lane, most likely. I was expecting that, but... Everybody top?
What are they playing on? They've got 4 heroes top, so I guess it looks like... I think Geo will end up going towards the mid lane. Well, he's sitting on 100 gold. He's probably going to go for that fast bottle. And Beastmaster at bottom, he's chopped down the trees there, basically help him scatter any incoming ganks slightly better. I mean, Darkseer is a hero. You get level 3, level 4, you actually can gank, which is how Darkseer jungle has been used. He gets level 3, level 4 quickly, and then he goes and ganks. He doesn't just sit in the jungle farming.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it's not your average ganking hero. I mean, he doesn't really have a disable with that vacuum, with the Iron Shell, with the Surge. If he has a level in all 3 of them, that will be very difficult to deal with whoever he's ganking. Broodmother is going to get the top rune if it spawns there. Actually, TongFu looking good for all runes on all sides. So let's see who's going to get lucky.
Yeah.
It's going to be an illusion.
Will be the Brood. That's a useful rune to have. I mean, you can block the pull camps. Venom's going to come in. Oh, no, I'm not going to grab it. And Brood can just send those off and probably want to block some of these pull camps or just harass Venom a little bit. But he's going to be okay at this top lane up against a Tiny and Veno. The problems are going to come when Chen starts the gank. They've got sentry wards on the Veno. They've got the possibility of killing him with the Chen creep.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, Hannah Montana was probably hoping to be up versus a Broodmother, but he is not going to have that, and that will give Morphling a lot of free farm, I believe. How is going to have a good time on this bottom lane.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, it's what Hannah Montana would have liked to be up against the Brood, but this is probably what compLexity were expecting, to have this dual lane bottom with the Morphling. Because Morphling, you generally want to put him in that safe lane where he's going to get that free farm. So it's going to be a tough time at bottom lane. Mid lane Rubik against Invoker should be a fairly even matchup. And it's basically both teams winning their safe lane. It's a question of how much they win it by, whether or not they can get the kills on Brood, and if Chen can sort of get a creep and then come and get a fast push going on this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, we already see a lot of harassment up on the Broodmother, who got killed, had to use herself, and first sentry ward being placed already, another one in the backs of IX Mike, so this will be some tricky times for the Broodmother until she has her soul ring, of course, when she can spam out that spawn spider links. But they're gonna be looking to go aggressive upon this Broodmother.
Yeah, and we'll see if they want to use this other sentry ward. I like what Brood's done. It's basically just staying out of range of that first sentry ward. Can see IX Mike and knows that if IX Mike plays another sentry ward, he needs to get the hell out of there. They're going to use it. They go in on Brood at top, and Carbo is just going to walk out of range, and he can drop down another web. He's going to do that. This is just really smart play. He knows Venomancer with the sentries will not be able to scout him out, and they're going to have to buy more sentries or more dust, some way of scouting him out at top lane.
Yeah, very expensive hobby to try to kill off the Broodmother on the top lane, but worth it. I mean, if they would have had to kill, it was worth it, because now he can still stay in experience range and just sit there and getting some levels, getting some, well, perhaps some gold with some spawn spider links on the side, but well, actually now he can't get any levels anymore. He's gonna be forced back the moment he tries to run. IX Mike will be standing there ready with a gale and his right clicks. Okay, so not getting experience anymore. He's still level 1 with TC being level 3. It's a difference there. And he's just chasing him out of range. He's actually gonna TP to the tier 1.
Oh, I like that. He wasn't ever going to get past the sentry wards. It was his only way out, really, and he's going to try to... Well, he's going to now use the fact that creep wave is pushed out to actually get some XP. So, yeah. worth using that 135 gold just to get this XP, even though he's not going to get any farm in his own tower. The problem is now Chen, looking for an opening to go gank, has picked up a smoke, going for a very... Look at this. Chen has already picked up the chainmail. Is going straight for the buckler, which gives the plus armor, and I think that's because Fluff wants to really push very fast this top lane with the Venomancer.
Yeah, and he got the perfect creep to do so. I mean, Dark Pearl Warlord with those skeletons will be able to create an army with that. If he is gonna keep him, which he probably is. The disable as well. They can't really. They kind of have to kill off the Brood Mother if they really want to push, though. I mean, they have to do something there to get a successful gank and then start pushing. And for that, they need wards or dust first again.
Yeah, and we'll see if they want to buy those. I mean, right now, Kabu playing this matchup correctly. He hasn't got any farm, but he's got level 3.5. He's doing alright. Meanwhile, bottom lane, similar thing for Beastmaster. He's got halfway up to level 4 as well. And that's partly because it's a Tide support. Tide can't really harass Beastmaster out of the lane, and they don't really have much potential to kill him unless Awoke comes and ganks. Awoke actually going to find himself an Invis rune at bottom. And look, oh, Beastmaster, look what actually TongFu have done. They've blocked off the Ancient spawn so that Beastmaster can't stack it.
And they've not used sentry wards for that, because Beastmaster did already scout that out with his Quill Beast, of course, but... or Boar. Oops. But, yeah, he's not doing anything against it, and that would be something that would be worth doing, I believe. Oh, and here comes push up on the top lane. Who cares about killing a Brood Mother? They just want to get the tower.
Yep.
Fortification.
Absolutely, and I don't think they even have sentries or dust here, and that just goes to show they don't care about killing the Brood. The only thing they're concerned about is actually getting the tower. It's bottom lane though. First blood happens there. TongFu do care about the kills. They're going to lose Morphling though. Not really a worthwhile trade for them. I mean, sure, Morphling gets a lot of gold for it, but that's 20-25 seconds where he's sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, very expensive first blood for TongFu, even though they do get it. And push continues for compLexity, so they do trade something. Okay, they gave first blood, but they got a tower, which is already the same amount that they got in a long game previous game. So in that case, congrats to them. Only one tower down for them in the previous game. And do you think they're gonna get this tier 2 as well? They are gonna try to do something about it. Here comes move from the side, from behind, and we also have the Darkseid here, Cold Snap, hitting up on Chen. He's gonna try to throw it. He doesn't have his Hand of God just yet. Tidehunter as well, level 3. We're gonna have Moog going invisible. We'll be staying alive for now. Chen won't be so lucky. He'll go down to the Darkseid. TC on the way out. A Tidehunter will drop here as well. Is Venomancer's just happily right-clicking stuff. There goes the first one. Is he gonna be able to get more? Here comes Yeo from the mid lane as well. Vacuum there. Awoke. Wow, Iron Shell really being an MVP in this fight. Rubik picking up the kill on the Darkseid, but not before he picked up the kill on the Venomancer. Yeo will be able to back out from that one. And that was 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was a great fight. I mean, it goes compLexity's way. They get both towers. They lose their support heroes. They lose Veno, they lose Chen. I mean, they pick up a kill on Darkseid, who's sort of a support at this point, but it's still a useful kill to get. And, I mean, killing the Brood isn't that important, because Brood pretty much is underfarmed, has already been shut down. So losing the Chen and Venomancer is not a big loss for them. I feel that was a fantastic fight coming out of compLexity, and they almost got the Invoker, the third kill as well. Invoker just got the Ghost Walk off. So compLexity, I mean, they come out ahead there in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. We're taking down the tower as well. I mean, gold difference is ahead in compLexity's favor. No surprise there, of course, for the towers. But something that they really need. I mean, that is what their lineup is built around. Getting those early towers, getting that early control, and just try to go on from there. Get that Tiny farmed up, and he was indeed not one that died just now. He didn't get any kills or assists either, though, but at least he didn't die. He was out there fast enough.
Yep, and now we'll have to see where TongFu want to go with this. They've got this jungle Darkseid, which is a bit awkward because he needs farms, he needs levels, and it's mid lane. They're looking for Moo, they're trying to go in on him. They're not going to manage to do enough damage on him. Venomancer just coming in for a little bit of a roam. And I think compLexity, with these top 2 towers, are happy to sit back and just have, basically, create space for TC to farm. TC, early phase boots up. Probably going to, normally goes for the Drum of Endurance following that, the phase boots, and really just looks to get up some attack speed, some auras, to combo with the Beastmaster aura, and then starts preparing for the late game DPS build.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to see just the pushing team with the Chen as well as the Venomancer, just trying to rotate to the next tower to push that one, and it looks like it's going to be tier 1 tower mid lane that's going to be the target, with only Invoker to defend it, of course. Invoker is one of those heroes that can potentially stop that with the Tornado helping out, but I'm not sure. There's a Centaur, there's a Troll Warlord. Might be able to just get that tower down. And I mean, in this meantime, Broodmother is also getting some free farm on the top lane. I mean, he was not able to farm all that much earlier, but right now, he's not doing that bad anymore. 17 for 0 he is. Of course, he's versus a Tiny that is way more advanced. He's 4 to 4 for 12. But he is getting last hits right now. He has a Soul Ring. He is gonna be a heavy Broodmother. And push on the bottom lane. Telekinesis, Gale, Invoker. Is he gonna be invisible fast enough? Even if he is, there's a Sentry Ward, Vacuum there. Tactical Pause. Wow. Wait. He says. Capital letters. Well, this Iron Shell is potentially deadly for 3 heroes. They might just be able to pull this off for TongFu, even though I do think that Mu is still gonna go down. They are gonna lose some heroes here. Awoke level 6, he's just got so much HP, he can just chase after them as well. I mean, he still has a surge up.
Well, and I think this pause works in complexity's favor. I mean, you could say tactical pause, morphling happening pause at this time, but this helps complexity, because complexity, it looks like they'd killed this Invoker regardless, and well, the Darkseid caught them by surprise, but now they have, well, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long this pause lasts to sort of decide whether they run, whether they kill the Invoker, then try to kill the Darkseid as well. This is... There goes my microphone.
Whoa, there goes your microphone.
It's detached itself from my headset, so I have to either hold it up or try clip it to my shirt, and every now and then it'll go flying off.
Okay. I still heard you in the background though. Was helpful. So yeah, in favor of complexity this pause. I do think, I mean, of course I say tactical pause, but I say that for every pause kinda. Because, you know, it's such a thing that people say, but this is obviously not a real tactical pause, because we actually had people disconnecting, and yeah, well, complexity can now decide, you know what, we are gonna lose heroes if we're not out of here as fast as we can. And what can they still do? They don't have a telekinesis, they don't have the tornado that they stole, they don't have the Gale anymore. They have a Hand of God though. They have a Hand of God. That could be what they're gonna use straight after the pause stops. Then they might be able to kill off the Invoker.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they can kill off the Darkseer.
Yeah, I think Complexity killed the Invoker and then go for the Darkseer. I don't know if they can kill Darkseer because he's got this surge, but with the Hand of God up, they can definitely, they're going to be okay here. They're not going to go down unless there's some serious TPs in. I think that may come. We may see a Morphling TP. Morphling is level 7. That's a waveform which is going to hurt. Two of those heroes, Jo as well as Fluff, are fairly low, but the Hand of God is going to make it so that the waveform alone won't kill them. They'll need some additional damage, which is going to have to come in the form of the Darkseer Iron Shell.
Yep. And of course the Iron Shell is level 3, so is doing a lot of damage, and we already saw them taking a lot of damage right when he walked in, and he still has a surge, so he'll be able to chase them as well. I do think we agree that Mu is, like, dead already.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is he? There's a vacuum. He could get surged away. He's not deaf. Yeah, the poison damage should be enough, but
yeah, he can't
I'd say he's
anymore,
almost definitely dead. Yeah, he's almost definitely dead, but I don't know. It depends if... I think Geo can just right-click him once with the Venomancer. It depends how the vacuum works.
Yeah, there goes the Hand of God, and there goes this... Oh, Fluff and Stuff, and we form indeed. Yeah, and that's Morphling getting a double kill. Venomancer dropping to the Darkseer. 3 for 1. Happened as you said. Hand of God straight after, but we form and Iron Shell. Just doing so much damage.
Yeah, and turns out that Hao can TP in, can turn that fight around, and well, Complexity in a lot of trouble, and that's where Morphling can really sort of come in handy early game, and we're going to see that level 4 waveform doing a lot of damage and hitting 3 heroes there, getting 2 of those kills.
Yeah, massive advantage for that one. In the meantime, I mean, there's still Tidehunter on the bottom lane, so the experience that is there is not going to get lost, because Tidehunter is still level 4. He's actually going to get a roar. He's going to drop now, I do think so, but Axis killing him off. But he got some experience before he died. He's level 5 now. In the meantime, we have a chase down on a Woke. He will be fine. Will be searching himself away.
Wow.
He is not fine. Wow, is a Morphling in the middle lane. Rubik picking up a solo kill. He was dead by himself.
Stole the waveform, which is one of the most powerful skills to steal as a Rubik against a Morphling. Rubik is just so useful to have in this matchup here. Geo in a bit of trouble, will wave to the high ground, and he's going to be okay. He's got another nuke soon. He's gone for this fast turn. I really like Geo's skill build, and the fact he's stolen waveform is going to make him such a big ganking threat. It not only is it acts as a blink, you can use it to position yourself better, it also does a heap of damage.
Yeah, we see Tidehunter in a bit of trouble. He's going to try to hide himself in the jungle. Might be able to succeed with that. Although, well, Axis will fly. He's still slow using stick charges. Still alive for now. 60 HP. Here comes TP, and Hao will be able to help him out. Unless there's going to be a Beastmaster coming in from the side, landing some Axis. He is faster than Sun Cheng. Is he actually going to be able to be there in time? I do think he is. Axis, are they have enough range? Yes, they do have enough range. Hannah Montana picking up the kill. That was a shame. I really thought he was going to live there for a second. but nope.
Well, Hannah Montana at this bottom lane, I mean, setting up sitting on 3 kills now. He's going to drop down the Raw and Awoke. It looks like he's actually going to back off and not commit to the kill. Geo's come in as well. He's looking for an opening with his DD room. But Hannah Montana, 22 CS, 3 kills to 1 death, and sitting on 1500 gold. This is pretty much the ideal situation to be in as a suicide solo Beastmaster.
Yeah, especially when you don't have your ancients to fall back on, because, you know, that was warded, so he didn't even have that. He was just able to do that without it. Imagine what he could have done with it, even. We do have some stack going on right now, though, on the ancient right now. Hand of God going through. Wow, I think that is on the top lane. TC having a bit of trouble with Kabu, but he's able to back off. Probably Hand of God helping him be alive in that lane right there.
He's struggling, and he's the hero that compLexity want to farm up, have to get farmed up. He's their only late game hope. And as a result, well, they're using the crew. He's actually bottle crowing, which is an interesting technique, but it's bottom lane, where Hal will pick up a kill on Venomancer.
That was a fairly quick kill, just Weaveform picking up the last hit, and it was just slightly out of position for the Venomancer. I mean, he was too far down, and Hal just abused that and killed him off. With some help of the Darkseers. Iron Shell, of course. Tide getting some levels in the mid lane. He has to be careful.
Oh yeah, Tide needs his level 6. That's why he's just sitting here trying to get that level 6 up. But man, this game is just, I mean, it's like a kid and a candy store. There's so many spells for Rubik to steal. He can steal the Tide Ravage. Obviously, Tide, I mean, it's not really a realistic hope to think you can get Tide Ravage every fight. Tide, in theory, should immediately cast Anchor Smash after a Ravage. But if Rubik's outside of the range of the Ravage, maybe he gets it. Maybe he steals it. Morphling, you can steal the Waveform. You can also steal his Morph Strength and then morph all your agility to Strength. And that makes Rubik get really tanky. There's so many spells for him to steal. I mean, even spells like Tornado is strong. The Darkseer, Vacuum is strong. There's just so many spells, and this is going to be really hard for TongFu. They're going to be very careful about their timing of spells in these fights. Yeah,
the only one that he really doesn't want to steal from is probably the Broodmother. But then again, she'll sit on the lane now, on the top lane the entire time, so he's not going to be there all that often, I do believe. With the TC just having to stay there constantly to push the lane back. Oh, he has a skin. Looks cool. He's all glowy.
Oh, the glacial tiny, I think it is, or is it a new one?
I think it's a new one.
Elemental Ice Infusion.
Elemental Ice Infusion. Well, it looks cool. Shiny.
TCN is tiny, man. It's his favorite hero, I'm pretty sure. I don't know about favorite hero, but it's one of his trademark heroes, that's for sure. And I mean, he's done a good job. Brood's sitting on 40 CS. I mean, some of those probably neutrals, as you can see, Kabu at the moment in the neutrals, so it's not quite as high as that number suggests. But still, I mean, Brood is not looking to be all that big of a threat, and TC holding his tower, just using this bottle crow to keep refilling his bottle, and he's going to be all right here. Meanwhile, the rest of his team getting towers and making stuff happen.
Yep. Oh, and actually making stuff happen. There goes the Darkseer. It's not done just yet, though. Rubik stealing a Tornado. Might still want to go in on this one. Or do they? Nope, they don't. They don't. Just Darkseer dying to the Venomancer actually getting the last hit. Definitely not a bad thing. I mean, Venomancer is still level 6. Is a bit behind on the rest. Of course, being a support does that to you. But he has a Medallion of Curse, so they want to go for Roshan here. But of course, TongFu seemingly knowing that they're gonna try to stop that. There goes the Tornado. They might want to go in on this one. Is there gonna be more? No. Invisibility was first. Do you want to continue to commit to Roshan though, now that TongFu probably knows what they're going to go for?
I mean, TongFu know, but I feel compLexity are just going to try to use their map control. They want to push out the lanes first. They may want to wait and come back a bit later, but they really want this Roshan. I mean, Venomancer even going for a Medallion. I mean, that just really highlights how much they want to take this Roshan and take it really early.
Yeah, Tidehunter is level 6 now though, so that is something that they have to take into account, and I do think they spotted that already. As he was on the edge there, but he just didn't have a good initiation. Of course, he kind of needs Darkseer for that one, because of course Surge, Ravage is a very strong combination. You don't really need that Blink Dagger anymore, if you can just run in there at high speed and just Ravage. But he needs to be there, they both need to be there. And it looks like everybody is letting it go for now.
Yeah, I mean, for now, TongFu are okay to sort of sit back and play this kind of game, because their heroes are heroes who need farm, and they don't want to fight for another 5, 10, 15 minutes. I mean, whenever they can get those items up. I mean, Brood can't really do much. He can just sit in this top lane and keep on farming. Same thing applies to middle and bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Hand of God went through there, though. Darkseer is gonna try to search
chasing
himself
his
away from
stacks,
Fluff and stuff. Will there be a test of fate? There's a cooldown it is. Axis will miss. Evoke still alive. Here comes Blue from the sideline. Tornado will hit. Roar hits up on the Evoker. Venomance, Poison Nova. Here comes the Ravage, and there goes Venomance on the first one to go down. Fluff and stuff dropping as well. Ravage got stolen, got juiced. Sunshine is going to be in some trouble. Fadebolt will end his life. And that is a 2 for 2 once again. With Tidehunter and Invoker for a Chen and a Venomancer. A good trade for complexity once again. I do think they get the better of that.
Oh yeah, and that is the lesson to be learned for Tidehunter. When you use that Ravage, you cast Anchor Smash. Even if there's no creeps, no heroes next to you, cast Anchor Smash regardless if you're against a Rubik. Geo stealing the Ravage, right place at the right time, and turns that fight around for complexity.
Yeah, he didn't even steal it like straight after. He actually stole it when he came up there, so...
Yep.
It's quite surprisingly that there was no Anchor Smash. Maybe he didn't see the Rubik was there. It could have been a possibility. Not having the threat of the Rubik close by, but there was. First Ravage of the game, and another very successful one, even though they did get 2 kills.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing, I mean, they lost 2 kills there, but it's probably good it happens now, because it's the kind of mistake that, well, I assume will not happen again. I mean, it happens once in the game. You're going to basically Tide from now on is going to be thinking, okay, that was a mistake. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again in this game. So I feel it's a bit of a wake-up call for Tidehunter more than anything. And I think it's going to, in the long term, we're not going to see it happen again. Although, with that said, maybe Sancheng will look to prove me wrong. And maybe playing on the slightly higher ping here on US West could be impairing his ability. But, I mean, just push. You can just push the Anchor Smash right after the Ravage. So I don't think delay should affect that.
No, but it looks like a complexity now are going to go for the Roshan. We saw Mike already counter-warring the wards that were there from the from the Radiant team, so they will be able to get that fairly fast with that Medallion of Courage, of course, and not contested at all, even though they will lose a tier 1 tower on the top lane for that. Broodmother picking up the gold for that one. 2600 gold up on the Broodmother.
And TC with a Yasha up, he's looking to get these DPS items. He hasn't started going for his axe up yet. Tossing on the Beastmaster at mid. Is there a roar? Yes, there is. Moo in all sorts of trouble. Is he going to get burst down? It looks like he will. TC, actually Beastmaster picking up the kill, and here goes the Darkseer. The counter initiation drops on the wall, but he just goes, look how squishy he is. He drops so fast. The Alpha Wolf giving them bonus damage. How in the middle of things taking a heap of damage himself. TongFu getting overwhelmed here.
Yep, and there goes Sunshine as well, and TC just ripping through everything. Walking through the Darkseer wall. Actually, this one is from Rubik, I do believe. Yeah, this one is from Rubik. The other one was at a different angle. Was wondering why did it change, but that's a different wall. So another ultimate stole by Yale. He is having a good time with that spell steal.
Yeah, and they're really investing a lot in this Tiny, but for now it is paying off, because look at the supporting cast. Not only is TC getting really far, but they've got the mech, they've got the pipe, they've got all these strong survivability options, and Rubik 3k gold is looking really farmed himself, so Jo can get himself up some nice big sort of semi-late game items, whether it's a Sheep Stick, a Force Staff, a Blink for no ability. He's going to have a big item coming up soon as well. Yeah,
I'm quite surprised he didn't pick up something like a Force Staff just yet. I'm not quite sure. I mean, normally you'd see, I would suggest a Sheep Stick, but a Force Staff, it's kind of the way they want to initiate. If they're going to keep throwing heroes out there, of course, then you don't really need a Force Staff, because Tiny can just throw you, but it is not a team that, I mean, team fights is not really their strong suit. It's really ganks, and you don't always have the Tiny with you to throw you in, so a Force Staff for initiation could be really strong. Oh, and actually picks it up. Well, okay. That was fast.
Yeah. just waiting it out.
Yeah.
Waiting it out till he had 3k gold to buy. But I think it was just these last few fights where he suddenly shot up, getting a few kills, getting some assists, getting some farm, and now he decided, okay, definitely tower gold as well. So he just suddenly decides, well, Force Staff it is. He was probably just sort of waiting to make up his mind. And TC, his Aghanim Scepter only about 1300 gold away now. He's looking very farmed.
Yeah, and he's gonna try. Oh, sorry, I'm not saying try. He's just gonna get a kill. Free kill on the Darkseer, just with the toss Avalanche combination. Really strong. Tiny looking right now. He's level 14. Darkseer was level 10, so 4 level difference there, making a difference for sure. As we see a smoke up for Fluff and stuff and IX Mike on the middle lane. I think they're gonna try to go for Moo again, and there's the Fate Bolt, and that is gonna be a kill. Force Staff, is it gonna be invisible in time? He might be able to stay alive. Pops his one charges, will be able to stay alive, and there's no, never mind. Wow.
Gem on Beastmaster maybe? Or was this?
I think there was
Gem on
blind
Venno. Gem on
Venno.
Venno.
Okay. I was gonna say it might have been blind access, but Gem on Venomancer, I will make sure that he can't go anywhere right now. Successful kill once again. So looking very strong. In the meantime, though, it is the Morphling they have to look out for. Morphling was actually gonna go for a BKB first, just fearing all these combinations coming out from compLexity. First item BKB, not something that you see all that often, but really a good choice in my opinion for this game.
Yeah, I think this is a game where you need it. And Brood's also gone straight for the BKB. That's a more common item build, but 2 BKBs up, and maybe TongFu are gonna. Well, they're gonna have to go fight soon because compLexity are happy to walk on in. They haven't even got the Acceptor on Tiny, but look at this damage. The Alpha Wolf giving bonus damage from basically to all these heroes, and that a hero like Tiny who has massive base damage, the percent increase to his attack damage is absolutely huge.
Yeah. And they back off. This was just free damage to the tier 3 tower. I mean, they got 1000 HP off the tower without paying anything for it, really.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, it's going to hurt. It's going to be really hard for TongFu. I think they're okay, the fact the tower didn't go down. They haven't lost a Rax yet. They'll trade it for a bit of farm on Brood at top lane as well as the Morphling at bottom. And now they've got their BKBs. They know compLexity are going to look to sort of force that fight very, very soon. And it's going to be up to TongFu to use these BKBs. But, I mean, TC, his right-click damage, well, he can say, well, screw your BKB, I'm just going to kill you anyways.
He's going to bash you down, and yeah. Because he does have that, and even if it does go down, I mean, if they manage to kill off TC in the duration of the BKBs, there's an Aegis, so he will be able to be up again and just continue bashing on stuff. And he now has his Aghanim's complete, just being brought by the Badger. And they might be looking to push him once again, even though they have to still worry about the Ravage, because that's just one of those abilities that can change everything around, and they have to be really careful for that one.
Yep, and compLexity, they're in no rush. I mean, they've only just now got the Acceptor up on TC, but he's just hit level 15. They maybe want his level 3 ulti. They're farming up Ancients. They're using this cleave from the Aghanim Scepter, and well, yeah, exactly. They're team farming. They're being, I mean, if they weren't there with TC, well, there's not really all that much they can be doing. So they'll just use this opportunity to get themselves some farm. TongFu are going to do something similar at bottom, but TongFu need basic items. I mean, Awoke on the Darkseer still trying to pick up his mech. Morphling just with a BKB, Brood just with a BKB. I mean, these 2 key heroes just with one big item. Compared to TC, they're very far behind.
Yeah, and TC just jumped in there. He's gonna try to go for something. Will be get sent home by the Chen, so we'll be fine. Not initiating any further on that, even though this might be the opportunity for TongFu to continue to try and go for this, because they saw Tinker Tiny being sent back home. And they have all 5 here.
Yeah. They may want to make a go for this. They will actually no. Gio's going to be at top. He's going to Gio's going to be at top, stopping the Brood push, and he's actually going to deny this tier 2 tower. I mean, that's not too bad for TongFu. Having a tower denied, they get themselves a bit more control over the map. They get one less tower that compLexity can TP to, and well, they buy themselves some time just to turtle it up, get the Morphling more and more farmed, and they're just trying to use this Tornado EMP to buy them as much time as possible.
Yeah, and TC is already back. And even though I saw Tyler getting searched, I think, oh, now he's gonna run in and Ravage, but he actually ran the wrong way. So being very careful here. And I do think that if they're gonna continue playing this careful, they're gonna lose this tier 2 tower. They're gonna try to defend this.
Oh yeah, I think they're just gonna give it up. I don't think they want to fight outside of their base here. It's hard for Darkseer to find the vacuum and wall combo. It's a lot easier to do that in the sort of the choke point, going up the ramp into their base. So they'll just try to find it out in their own base and just keep on farming. I mean, Morphling, he's picked up a Blade of Alacrity. He's just trying to get anything he can to boost up his DPS. He's going to go, but it looks at things for a Manta style here, or at least pick up a Yasha and then go from there.
Yeah, Blink Dagger up on the Rubik. He actually stole Spawn Spiraling, so we're able to counter push the Brood Mother fairly well with that. And we have a rotation for compLexity. They have smoked up. I'm not sure, maybe they want to try to kill off the Brood Mother before doing anything else. Unless they would just want to come in from the side, but TongFu actually smoked up as well, and here they go. Toss Avalanche, vacuum back in though. Ravage being used, doesn't hit on TC though. He's just going to try to go for this. Hand of God goes through, pipe up, BKB's up. How still being stunned from something though. Invoker being the first one to go down, and there goes a Tidehunter as well from the Beastmaster. It's going to be how that gets dropped off afterwards, and then it's 4 dead already, and the GG cold. GG is cold. Broodmother, the only one that's alive there.
Yeah, as soon as they lose a fight, well, TC, level 16, he's going to clean up these Raxes and just wipe apart the TongFu base. So a pretty decisive victory for compLexity here, I have to say. I mean, this is one of their strategies they've used time and time again, and it seems to work most of the time when they get the picks that work around the Tiny.
Definitely, and indeed, like you said, I mean, it's very convincing for TC. They had control over the lanes, they had control over the fights, and it worked out great for them. And it will mean that we will see a game 3 between TongFu and compLexity to determine which one will be staying in the competition for the Beyond Summit World Tour. And here is the end screen, I think. There we go.
Alright, I'm going to quickly mute my microphone for 2 minutes as I'll be back after I sort something out.
Okay. That is fine. So we'll be jumping ourselves into game 3, stay tuned, and yeah, don't go anywhere.